Good morning, my friends. What is inside this shipping box with obvious exterior markings describing what's inside? Well, that would be the MPC Live 3. Yes, it's the new, amazing drum machine from Akai Professional. And we've been waiting to take a look at this for a while. Here is the internal box, which shows the device itself. It is incredible. It is filled with all kinds of wonderful features ready for music making. MPC, as you may remember, stands for Music Production Center. And that's what it is. It's a mobile studio ready for your music making. It is associated with hip-hop music, but you can obviously use it also for any style of electronic music or even acoustic music, recording with guitars or other instruments. It's got nice XLR connections on the back, ready for vocalists. So really, you could produce anything with it. You know I like to do various styles of electronic music, including industrial, cyberpunk, things like this, IDM, intelligent dance music, experimental music, and all sorts of things. So when you have a sampler, you really have the power to do nearly anything with it. Because if you ever get bored with the sounds, you can sample a completely new set. You can sample something that you've never sampled before and defy everyone's expectation of what you are producing as an artist. So here is the safety warnings in every possible language describing not to get caught in this foam anti-static wrapping. So carefully lift out the precious machine inside. So you take off these power adapter on one side. Just remember the way it was wrapped. Power adapter on this side. Recyclable paper things. A polishing sleeve. Quick start guide. Here is a USB-C cable included. That's nice. And it also is nice that it's using USB-C instead of one of the more outdated connections that it could be using. Still a lot of things using standard. Let's see what's in here. All right, this is the main power adapter, or the main power cable. So now we'll move this beautifully illustrated box to the side also. Get the actual device onto the fossil table here, as I sometimes call it. So here it is. It is larger than the MPC Live 2, as people will have already told you. Some people have had this already for months, particularly in the developing the content for it. But, you know, we all get the technology when we have our turn to, so let's see. Carefully slide out of the safety wrap here. See the overall size and weight. It is large, it feels heavy and metallic. Wow, that is a solid slab of gear there. Here we go. Down on the table. It's been a while since I used MPC Live 2, but I've got to say, this has a different vibe to it. It's somehow more impressive. You can see the speakers here. It includes monitor speakers. It's got a lot of similarities with the earlier machines, and yet I still love those standard MIDI ports there, ready to interface with all of the other gear that we already have, and over the years, beautiful XLR microphone inputs, which I will be using for my vocals and vocals of my collaborators, guitar, other instruments we are recording, the phono input for turntable scratching and such. Try to get into more of that this year. Here are the USB connections, power switch, everything. Do you think it's powered up already? Pads have a solid feel. They seem softer than MPC Live, which I've been using a lot lately. Here is the main click wheel. Do these have click? No, they don't. The Q links, as they call them. Press the on switch over here. Look at that. It starts up with a whir of the internal fan. Yes, it is like a full computer system here, so it's going to have its own fan. Do you suppose that it wants me to try that again? Hold it for a bit longer. Interesting. Maybe it really does need a charge. Wake up, wake up. This is the switch on this side for the built-in speakers. And one caveat is that it has a built-in microphone, but yet you cannot use the built-in microphone while you are using the built-in speakers, because it knows, especially if you don't know what you're doing, that you could create a feedback loop between the sound of the speakers and the microphone, which is right next to them. That placement is a bit odd, but of course you are using, they want it to be nearby where you are standing when using it, and this is the same place on a classic MPC where there would be the cushions for your arms. Let's see, I guess we have to power it on in the usual way. So inside here, power adapter. We have this sort of middle brick power supply, which it's better than a wall wart. Still clunky in its own way, but yeah, better than a wall wart for sure. Because they take up extra space on your power bar, and you want to you want to have plenty of room for all your different devices on your power bar. So what is the MPC? It is a computer in the form factor of a large drum machine. Now, the first MPCs were just drum machines. They could sample, you could sequence, and you could work on tracks that way, but they didn't have so many incredible features that the devices of today have. They didn't have this amazing full-size color touchscreen to use. It was more basic. It was simply a couple lines of data or something. I wasn't an MPC user in the classic MPC days because I didn't know that it was good and why I had other gear, which frankly wasn't as easy to play as an MPC would have been, but I didn't know anyone personally who had an MPC or showed me how to use it or what the advantages were. So information was a lot more difficult to find in the classic days of making hip-hop, techno, industrial music. Before the words EDM appeared, the classic days of sampling, there was much less information. And so I didn't know if I could teleport information back to myself at that point. I would certainly tell myself to try to get access to an MPC, to an SP1200, things like that. The so-called Mickey Mouse power plug there, or right, the intermediate connections. So let's connect this to the main power bar here in the studio room. Yes, I'm looking forward to using this device here in the studio room, but also take it with me various places, record my friends, customers, and anyone, anything, and everything, anywhere I could want to go. That's the idea of having an MPC Live. Why is it called Live? Well, it is because it's designed for live performances, live recording, live beat making, getting out into the world, bringing your music to the people in the places where you want to go, not having to travel with a huge amount of gear. Let's try that power up again. Here we go. MPC OS 3. Great to see that. Welcome to MPC. Don't have to remove my gloves, that's good. please connect your MPC to the internet. This is not what our classic friends want to do. Let's see. So all of these are demos. Or go for a user template. But instead of these project templates, let's just make a new project, even though I may not be able to figure it out because I haven't used MPC in several years. Try a new project. There we go. New plugin instruments. You must download. Remind me later. I hope that there is a decent set of plug-in instruments included with the thing, because too many DLCs could be tiresome. Let's see. Oh, turn up the main volume. And there it is. Those are the speakers. That's pretty loud. Nice built-in. Of course, these are the amazing pads that you can tell already they're pressure sensitive. Have the famous note repeat. See, oh yeah, latch. Let's see, where's the shift button on this? Has it really been this long? Oh, double tap. And then we have the touch strip here. So that touch strip is going to be great already, we can see. And you can slide your finger easily along this value. Unlike unlike the other thing. Telemarketers. So annoying. It's easier than dealing with the controls on the Ableton Push 3, where it's buttons. Alright, yeah, we'll start a beat. Why not? So here, I do want to change my, just tap the tempo there, and then turn down the wheel, slow it down, slow it. There we go. Alright, apply